Perfect. Hi guys, Happy New Year. My name is Brenda. I'm a registered dietitian. And for those of you who don't know me, I love cooking and I love creating simple recipes for you to try out that are going to be low carb and that they can fit your lifestyle. Today I'm going to have for you 3.5 recipes. The point five is because one of the recipes you can do it two ways. The three recipes that we're going to look out that we're going to do. The first one is creating a healthier version of a Snicker. It is not exactly a Snicker, but it tastes like a Snicker, and it's going to be lower in carbs, lower in calories, and it's also going to be healthier because it's made with all natural ingredients. The second one that we're going to do is a mug cake recipe made from chocolate chips. And the third one is going to be an apple recipe. So the apple recipe, we're going to do it two ways, okay? So the first way that we're going to do it is like an apple crumble, which we're going to do in the microwave. And the second version of the apple recipe is a healthy version of an apple pie, mini apple pie, but instead of using a regular dough or cookies or whatever, we're going to actually use rice paper, which is going to make that crunchy that crunchy outside of the recipe. Okay, so first we're going to start with apple the apple because it's the one that takes a little bit longer. They usually take less time to make, but it's the one that we need to cook, so the other ones are fairly easier to do. So you're going to grab an apple, and what you're going to do is that you're going to start cutting it into cubes, okay? One of the things that I really like about apple is that, I don't know if you've heard the saying, one apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apples are very high in fiber, so they're very good for you. Fiber is going to help you increase fullness levels, and it's also going to make, thanks to its fiber content, it helps promote bowel movements, and it helps decrease cholesterol. So you cut the apples into cubes, and you're going to put it into a microwavable jar, okay? The apple pie that we're going to make, or the apple crumble that we're going to make, there are a couple of versions that you can do it too. So the one that I'm going to do with you, it's going to be low in carbs, but meaning that I'm going to use almond flour as the crumble part of the dessert. But you can always use another thing. For example, if you want to, instead of the almond flour, you can always use the oatmeal. Oatmeal is going to be a little bit higher in carbs, but they're healthier carbs and they're going to be higher in fiber. So that's okay if you put just a little bit, okay? So here are the apples. Since we're going to do two versions, I'm just going to put them into two different jars or two different cups. You can just do it all at once, and then you can choose whichever you want to have, okay? So there, we have the apples, okay? The filling is going to be pretty much the same for both of them, so we're going to start with the filling. So for the filling, we're going to grab a teaspoon of butter. In my case, I'm using ghee. I like the flavor of ghee a lot. If not, you can use regular butter, or you can also use coconut oil, whichever works. Okay, in my case, I like the creamy flavor that ghee offers, so that's why I'm going to use it. Okay, So you put the butter on top, and then you're going to grab a sugar-free syrup. You're just going to drizzle it a little bit here. If you don't have sugar-free maple syrup, you can always put sugar-free cooking sugar, or you can just use stevia or monk fruit, whichever works. And the other ingredient that we're going to use is add some spice or some flavor. Again, there's two ways that you can do it. You can add just cinnamon to both of them. I love pumpkin spice, so we're going to do it with pumpkin spice. So you just grab a little bit of the pumpkin spice and then you put it on top of the apple filling. Okay, there. And now what we're just going to do is that we're just going to mix it a little bit. Okay, since the butter is not melted, that's not going to mix, so just put it on top. And now both things go into the microwave. So they usually go 30 seconds. Just try to keep them 30 seconds at a time. If they're not cooked, you can put them for another 30 seconds. Depends on the potency of the microwave and just pretty much the microwave. So 30 seconds, and then the filling is going to be already there. For the crumble, what we're going to do is that you're going to grab flour, almond flour. So you're just going to put 1.5 teaspoons of the almond flour. You're going to grab another teaspoon of the butter. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to grab some walnuts. You're just going to crush them. Okay? So you're going to crush them into smaller pieces. You're going to put it there. Okay? Again, instead of butter, you can always use a regular coconut oil. With the coconut oil, there are two versions of the coconut oil. So coconut oil comes refined or unrefined. Refined coconut oil is not going to give you that coconut flavor, so it makes it a great option if you don't like that strong coconut flavor that coconut oil tends to have. If you do like the coconut flavor, you can always have the unrefined one. So either option works. It just depends on if you like the coconut flavor or not. Okay, we're going to take the apples. They're almost there. I'm going to put them another 30 seconds. Okay, while that is cooking. Okay, so now we have like the crumble. We're going to slightly mix it again since the butter is not melted. It's not going to completely mix, but then we're just going to put it into the microwave and that's going to melt it and it's going to allow it to blend everything together. Okay. Okay. Now they are done. Okay. So they're going to be already cooked. You have no idea how wonderful this smells. So now that they're going to be cooking, I'm going to put the crumble into the microwave. 15 seconds. This one, do it by 15. The apple filling, do it by 30 increments of 30 seconds. The other one, do it by 15. Okay? So we got that. The crumble, it's going to give it that nice and crunchy flavor. That we all love. Okay, see? So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to grab one of the fillings of the apple I'm going to sprinkle this on top, and I'm going to put it for another, this time 20 seconds. And once it cooks, we're done with the apple crumble, okay? The apple, before we go into the apple pie, or let's talk about the macronutrient composition of each one. So the filling, just the apples, the butter, and the pumpkin spice is only going to have around 125 calories. Okay, it's going to have roughly 20 carbs. Most of them come from the apple. Apples are good, but they do contain carbs. And then the other key ingredient that it's going to give you a little bit more calories is the butter or the coconut oil if you decide to use it. The filling, just the filling, is going to give you 125 calories, 20 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fats. Okay? For the crumble, since we're adding the almond flour, a little bit more butter, and the walnuts, the combination of everything is going to give you 340 calories. Okay? Roughly 23 grams of carbs, around 25 grams of fats, and 6 grams of protein. Okay, so as you can see, it might be a healthier version of a apple crumble. An apple crumble can easily reach 600 to 700 calories due to the more butter it has, more oil it has, and more sugar it has. So you can cut down the calories by half. Okay, so once it's cooked, it's going to look like this. See that we have the crunchy side, the crunchy part here, and you have the apple crumble ready. Okay, as you can see, it took us less than 10 minutes to make, and it's a very good and healthy dessert for you to have. If you want to make it a snack, you can also make it a snack. As a recommendation, if you are going to have it as a snack, try to add a little bit more protein. Protein helps you increase your fullness levels. It helps slightly increase the metabolism because protein takes a little bit more time for the body to digest it. And most importantly, it makes you feel fuller. And it supports muscle mass. So if you can add a protein, it's going to be wonderful. Protein options that go nicely with the apple crumble is Greek yogurt. One of my favorite things to do is grab some Greek yogurt, put some stevia and vanilla, put it into the freezer, and then you have like a healthier version of an ice cream or a yogurt ice cream. So then you can pair it with the apple crumble. Okay. Now we're finished with the apple crumble. We're going to go with the pies. So what you're going to do for the pies, we're going to use rice paper. Okay. Uh, those essential things that you think they're at your house, but they're not. So I'm using just a regular pan for me to soak it because the pan is big and it allows me to soak it completely. Okay. So what we're going to do is that we're going to grab the rice paper. We're going to soak it completely. The rice paper, it's going to um, get a little bit slimy. Maybe that's not entirely the word, but it's going to have a different texture. So you grab the rice paper, you grab the apple filling, and then you put the apple filling right on the center. Okay? You put it in the center. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to create like a roll. Like, I don't know if you've tried spring rolls. They're pretty much a spring roll, but with apples. Okay. I usually don't. I have a harder time folding them, but it's going to be kind of like this. Then you're going to put them into the air fryer. I'm going to do another one because I have a little bit more. So again, rice paper, you soak it a little bit. And then again, you grab the apples and then you're going to put it right in the middle. There are some people that like to do twice the rice paper. In my case, I usually prefer just to have one. More rice paper means like there's more layers to it. In my case, I only prefer one. So again, you grab it and then you put it into the roll and right to the air fryer. See? So now that we have them into the pan, I'm going to put it at 350, around 10 minutes, but I'm still going to be watching over them, okay? Okay, we're done with the apples, okay? For the calories regarding the apple pie, they're pretty much going to be the same as the apple filling because the rice paper is almost calorie free if you're going to have one. For it depends on the rice paper that you're going to have, but having one or two, it's really not going to affect that much your calorie intake. So in the end, the apple pie is going to have around 125, 130 calories, 20 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fat. Okay, so it's a very good and low carb version. It is not carb free because we are, after all, using apples, but otherwise, it is a healthy version of an apple pie, which again, it can have up to 300, 400 calories depending on the slice of the apple pie. Okay. Now we're going to go into the mug cake. Okay. So for the mug cake, we're going to need a butter. We're going to need one egg. We're going to need almond flour, baking powder, vanilla, the sugar-free of your option of your choice, and we're going to use a sugar-free um, chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to we're going to have 3 tablespoons of the almond flour. We're going to have a 1 teaspoon of butter. In this case, we're going to melt it. So we're just going to put it just 10 seconds into the microwave. We're going to add a dash of vanilla. It can be from half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. We're going to add the baking powder. So we're going to add have half a teaspoon of the baking powder. There's 2 options. You can use a couple of packets of stevia or any sugar-free sweetener of your choice. In my case, now that we're using the maple syrup, the sugar-free maple syrup, I'm just going to use that. So I'm just going to put around half a teaspoon. Okay. Going to grab the butter. Still a little bit more. And 1 egg. Okay. We have the butter. And now we're just going to whisk it. You can grab a regular whisk or you can just grab a fork, whichever works. Okay. Okay. Now that we have the batter ready, now it's time to add the chocolate chips. Don't add the chocolate chips until you mix everything. So we have the batter ready. And you can grab around 1 tablespoon of sugar-free chocolate chips. Okay. So I'm just going to put them there. If you want to prevent them from going to the bottom, sometimes coating them into flour helps. If not, you can just put it straight into the microwave. This one too, we're going to do it in 30 seconds. So I'm going to put it into 30 seconds, check it, and if not, I'm going to put it again into the microwave. Okay. The mug cake is going to have around 345 calories. It's going to have around 10 grams of carbs, only 5 grams of net carbs, 30 grams of fats, and 7 grams of protein. Okay, again, it is a very simple dish to make. And the air fryer is warning me that it's halfway through, so I'm just going to check the apple pies. Perfect. They're going great. Okay, see? Now we have it done. I might put it 10 more seconds, but because I like it a little bit drier instead of a little bit moist, you like it moist, leave it as it is. If not, just put it for another 10 seconds, okay? This option can also be used as a snack, but it's also a very healthy dessert, see? So, once you grab it, let's see, it's going to be, see, the chocolate. It's going to be a very amazing dessert or a very amazing treat for you to have if you're looking for something sweet to have after lunch, dinner, or it can also be a sweet snack for you to have. Okay, so we're done with the mug cake, the apple crumble, and while the apple pie is finishing, we're just going to do the final one, which is like the healthier version of the Snicker dates. We're going to need dates, we're going to need coconut oil, we're going to need chocolate chip cookies, the peanut butter, and the peanuts. Just going to grab the peanut butter, which I forgot. Okay, we have the natural peanut butter. One of my favorite things that I love about this recipe is that it's not only a healthier version of a Snicker, which I can assure you it tastes like a Snicker. It's very easy to make, and you can make a batch of it, put it into the freezer, and then just grab it out whenever you need them. So the process is fairly simple. You're going to grab a box of or some dates. Okay. So you're going to grab a pitted date, okay, and you're going to cut it in half. Okay, so you open it. Okay, once you have it opened, what you're going to do is that you can grab peanuts. In my case, I'm going to grab almonds. I'm just going to chop them. If you prefer to have it simple, just grab an almond and then you can just place it there. okay, whichever works. So either chopped or you can put it there. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to grab that peanut butter, okay? Grab like 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon, more or less. And what you're going to do is that you're just going to spread it inside of the date, okay? See? Now you have the almond, the peanut butter, and the date. And what we're going to do is that we're going to make a chocolate coat. So here I have 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, and I'm just going to grab 1.5 teaspoons of the chocolate chip cookies. Okay. Put it into 15 seconds and just monitor it. When it comes to chocolate, it can be a little bit easy for it to burn, so you just have to watch it very carefully. Okay. And the apple pies are ready. Okay. See, they have like a crunchy part. And there's the other one. Okay. You just grab a plate, then you put it there. See? Now you have a healthy version of an apple pie, and it's going to have fewer calories. It's going to also have fewer carbs. Okay. Going to check the chocolate. Just we're going to put it for another 15 seconds. And while the chocolate is ready, just going to browse the sections to see if we have any questions. Which I don't know why the screen is white whenever I'm trying to check the questions. Okay. Okay, it took only 30 seconds, and now the chocolate is already done. Okay, so what you do is that you grab the date, you dip it into the chocolate, and there you have a healthier version of a sneaker. Then what you do is that you can create a bunch of them, put them into the freezer, and it's going to have this nice chocolate coating. Okay, each sneaker or each sneaker bite is going to have 85 calories, 9 grams of carbs, for around 5 grams of fats, and 1 gram of protein. So they're a healthy treat for you to have. They're just one bite, and they can take away that craving for something sweet that you might have after dinner, after lunch, or during the day. And I don't know if there's any questions, Mo. I don't know why I cannot see the questions. The screen is white.
See if I can ask the questions. I don't know why it's showing white for you, but the first question is there a preferred apple for best results?
No, when it comes to apple, they're pretty much the same. The one that might be a little bit lower in carbs, it's the green apple, but it's going to be a little bit more sour. So you would have to be. I haven't tried it honestly with any of these recipes. So you would have to try if you like that sour taste when it comes to making the apple crumble or the apple pies. Now, what matters though is the size. Remember that the size of one serving of a fruit or one that is going to have roughly 15 grams of carbs, it's going to be one medium apple, which is the size of most fists. The larger the apple, the more calories it's going to have, and the more carbs it's also going to have. So it's a matter of the portion, not particularly the apple. Yep.
And the second question is it salted or unsalted butter? And that's the final question. I think we can wrap it up after this one.
Okay. It is unsalted butter. I don't know if you're talking about butter or peanut butter. Either way, they're both unsalted, unsalted butter and unsalted peanut butter. Peanut butter, I usually have it no sugar, no oils, or no nothing. Just make sure that whenever you read the label, it's just a nut butter. In this case, peanuts. And the butter, I usually also just do it salt free. If I need to add some salt, I prefer to add a little bit myself and control the salt instead of the food controlling it for me. So both options, they're salt free, they're unsalted. I hope you guys enjoyed these desserts. If you decide to try them, let us know. And we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.